Hi, everybody. I just want to come on and continue my series on spirit teachings and spiritual inspirations. Whenever read a book on the spirit world, spirit teachings by mediums of the past, pioneers of spiritualism, or through mediums by the spirit world, and something resonates with me, I'm always going to try to record a video or just make notes of what I read and record a video at a later time. I'm hoping if these words resonate with me, it resonates with some of you as well. Right now, I'm reading again, I think for the third time, Spirit Teachings by the Reverend W. Stainton Moses, William Stainton Moses, and this comes to his hand through trance writing, channeled writing, automatic writing. I do believe the next video that I would like to do is also comes to us through the hand of a medium through trance writing. What I like about most books that I've read that involve trance writing is that the moment the medium, the one that the spirit world is writing through, starts to question what is being written or argues with it or starts to overanalyze the words coming through on the paper through their hand, the spirit world just stops. They sometimes will say the conditions are not right anymore for us to work through you. You're thinking too much. We'll come back at a later point, and the pen just drops. So what's the lesson there? I feel the lesson there is basically the mind is the enemy to any sort of mediumship. The active mind, the active conscious mind, if it's too loud, it's really difficult for the spirit world to get through. So what they need from us is this harmonious and even state where we can just stay clear within a calm and quiet state in our mind to allow them to work through us. So just remember that with any sort of mediumship you're doing, evidential mediumship, trance mediumship, healing as well, the less you can be involved in what's happening, the easier it is for the spirit world to work with us. So I read this passage yesterday, actually, and though I don't believe there are any coincidences when it has to do with the spirit world, I've been having a lot of conversations with people that I have the honor and pleasure of working with, and there was a question that came up a few times, like I just said, where different mediums would bring through the same spirit contact for the same sitter in classes when they're reading for them. And the question was, well, how come the evidence is different? I'm bringing through the same spirit contact, the father of the sitter, and I'm bringing through different evidence. It feels differently. My reading is so personal to me, and the evidence is different than it is for the next medium that's reading for the same sitter and they bring through the same spirit contact. Why isn't it the same? It's the same person that's speaking through us. Why isn't the evidence coming through in the same way? And it's a good question. And I really felt it has to do with the instrument, which is us. It has to do with the level of the blend, the strength of the link, but also that we're all individual. So we're all unique. So the evidence will be different because we're all different. We're all different people. And the way the spirit world works through us will be unique to me. The way the spirit world works through me will be way different than the way the spirit world works through you when you're reading the same spirit context. So in this book, Spirit Teachings by William Stainton Moses, which was written in 1949, I do believe I got this book on eBay. I think you can find it on Amazon or definitely as a book you can download onto your tablet, Kindle, or iPad. So there's just this one quote I want to read that kind of addresses the question that has been asked a few times of me. The truth was not less true because two men of varying minds viewed it from different points and dealt with it in their own way. The individuality of the meeting is palpable in the manner, if not in the matter, of the communication. The inspiration is divine, but the medium is human. And the last part, just that hit home for me. The inspiration is divine, but the medium is human. So the wisdom and the inspiration and the evidence that the spirit world is trying to bring through us as we blend with them is divine, and I believe is pretty much the same. But because the medium, the vessel, us, we're human and we're living in the physical realm at this point in time, and we have our conscious minds, we have self-healing we need to do, we have our feelings coming into it. The evidence is then interpreted differently for every medium, For every person that is a medium, the evidence is coming through unique to them. So how can we raise ourselves up to the level of this divine inspiration, this evidence coming from the divine, from the spirit world? I think a lot of that has to do with what you're bringing into the reading, what we bring as people when we're working as mediums into a one-on-one reading, a spiritual assessment, a gallery, platform style reading, trance session, or healing. We have to try to be aware of what baggage we're bringing into the reading with us, or the spirit work we're doing. What do I mean by baggage? Your self-healing journey. If you're going into the reading being nervous, if feeling less than, with any sort of prejudices, or not being tolerant of other people, fear, anxiety, maybe something from your childhood that not being heard or not being seen. None of these things have a place in your spirit work. So it's really important to work on your own healing journey to become this clear and pure channel for the spirit world to work through, to really treat everybody, not just when you're working with spirit, but in your daily life, with tolerance, compassion, respect, and love, because that's what God is, and that's what the spirit world is. It's about love. And just to remove all these blocks so the spirit world have this clear conduit to work through. Okay. And I really don't feel that all of these human emotions have any place in a mediumship reading. Okay. And I think that blocks the spirit world from getting through fully. Of course, we're sensitive and we want to use our emotional intelligence, of course, because I do believe the spirit world is a world of thought and emotions, but in a positive way, in a clear way. So when you're going into a reading, just try to remember what you're bringing with you into the reading. What I try to bring with me into a mediumship reading or a healing session is gratitude, joy. I understand that my own self-healing journey will go until the day I leave this physical realm, and probably after that, I'm not sure. But I know that my issues with life, and issues I had as a child, these traumas or dramas that I had as a young adult, have no place when I'm working with spirit. So the idea of feeling less than, self-confidence issues, not really feeling like I had a voice when I was younger, that my opinion didn't matter, that I was too sensitive, that people called me a sissy boy, that I read into everything too much. I took everything too personally. All of these things I have to try to leave on the side when I'm working with spirit. And that's actually why I like spirit work, is because it gives me a chance to have like a Joseph break for 45 minutes, an hour, whatever, if I'm doing a class 2.5 hours. And I really forget about all these issues that are waiting for me. So whatever stress or worries that you're having in your daily life, and look, the physical world can be a beautiful place, Earth, but it can also be a really, dirty and messy classroom for us to learn. And I do believe that's why we come to this physical realm, is to learn and to progress and to evolve. But I try to leave all of this stuff, whether it be affecting me personally as a person, that I have to heal through, or any problems paying my taxes, mortgage, health insurance, health issues, anything, I try not to think about or let come in to this sacred and divine space when I'm working with spirit. And I do believe that's what William Stainton Moses, that was written through him from the spirit world, that the inspiration is divine, but the medium is human. So of course, if it's the same spirit communicator, like if your father is coming through and I'm giving you a reading, and this beautiful spirit being, your father in the spirit world, is impressing his evidence of survival of so-called death through me to you, and then a week later you're doing a practice session or someone's giving you a reading and your father comes through again, of course there will be similarities in the reading, but the evidence will not be the same, and the feeling of the reading will not be the same, because it's another person. And this physical form that I experience this life here on earth through, that my spirit sort of drives this physical body, this physical car. It's the only way your spirit can express itself in the physical realm. Your body is the temple of your spirit, I feel. And, but that also involves the conscious mind. So it takes a lot of work to be able to just get out of the way. Not completely, I don't think that's possible, but to get out of the way as much as you possibly can to allow the spirit energy and power to flow through you. Okay, but it's always going to be a bit different, varied by medium to medium or healer to healer. The energy always feels a bit different, because they're going through us, they're going through our minds. So I think the best thing that we can do is to try to make ourselves to become like God, to become like the beautiful beings in the spirit realm, which are complete love, that want to provide healing and want to help. So when I go into reading, like I said before, it's coming with joy. It's coming with, I'm trying to come into with gratitude about how lucky I am to be doing this, and how fortunate I am to have the spirit world supporting me and helping me. And that what I'm doing is a sacred duty to God, the spirit world, and to humanity, to just help and bring a little of the spirit energy, the spiritual power, into the physical realm. And I think the more of us that do this, the better the physical world will be, and we'll be able to help the planet, help humanity with the more spirit energy we can bring into the physical realm. So just think about that when you're going into your next reading, that the information is always divine. The inspiration, the evidence, the healing is always divine. But we, the mediums, the healers, we're human. So we have to sort of, we have to combat that in a way. When you go into a reading, just try to become like God, like the spirit world, which is 100% love and healing, and they want to help. And try to leave all this other stuff on the side. Any prejudices that you might have, any judgment, any jealousy, and just realize who you're working with, who's in front of you, their spirit, their presence, and their existence matters just as much as yours. We're all equal in God's eyes. God loves us all, regardless of where you come from, regardless of your skin color, regardless of your nationality, your sexual orientation, anything. We're all equal in God's eyes. And we create these differences. We create these gaps in compassion. Okay. So, but remember, I really do like that. It's really the last sentence of this passage that I love the most. The inspiration is divine, but the medium is human. So whatever you can do to bring yourself up to the level of to the love and the energy and the vibration of loving your fellow man, your fellow woman, your fellow child, animals, the earth itself, the easier it is for the spirit world to get through and work with you fully and clearly. Okay, so I hope that helps. I think this is a rather short video, which is fine. But yeah, I'll continue to do these videos when I find something that resonates with me. Like I said, I pretty much have an idea of what the next one's going to be, and I do believe that's going to be W.T. Stead in his book that was written through him, with him, and through him, Letters from Julia, which I've worked a lot with in the classes that I've done, and I mention it and quote it a lot. But it also comes through his hand. So I'll reference this video in the next video as well. I wish everyone a lovely day, and I send you love. Bye.